Someone commented that the plants are taking over in here, and I kind of agree. Like, you can't even see this one. Oh, there's a lot. Hello, wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. I don't know what that is. Tiny stupid run. Anyway, now if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series where you learn how your voice works, wee rants and general shenanigans. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, I have done a couple of reactions, I think, to this lady before. Her name is Song So-hee, and she is amazing. Sings a very traditional type of singing, if I can remember correctly. Now, someone has asked me to go back in and review Pollack from Immortal Songs 2. So that is what we are going to do. I'm excited. I can't really remember what her voice was like. So it's going to be a nice little return. And let's see what we think. Let's go. Okay, I can remember now. That's brought me right back. Okay, yes, she has got such a unique voice. Well, to my ears anyway. I'm hearing lots of tiny little glottal stops. I'm hearing lots of like a forced kind of tension. So let's go and listen to a little bit more and see if I can hone in on some qualities and then we can talk about them. But amazing. Ah, beautiful. Right, okay. This is quite a more festive take on the songs that she does. Like, it's a bit more lively. The other ones I've heard have been really dramatic and really traditional sounding. This has got like that push more into kind of a modern kind of sound. It's really, really good. Okay, now that sound, that ha, that a lot of people mistakenly call that vibrato because they hear it as a vibrating, but it's not the same thing. Vibrato is where the thyroid cartilage tilts forward, allowing like a smooth oscillation. It's not from anywhere near the vocal folds per se, like you're not having to like stop and start them. That's more of what a bleating is. If you go ha 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 ha, like you're giggling, your folds are kind of glottal stopping, right? And when you then add a little bit more tension to that and a little bit more pressure through it, you get this bleating sound. Now that is the base of what this sound is. I'm not saying I'm doing it as well as her because I am not, because it's not a style of singing that I engage in like that much. She is trained and trained and trained to sing like this. But that bleating is so crystal clear, so sharp. It's amazing. Very, very good. She's also adding in some like texture from her false vocal folds. Now that's not to say that it's a constriction kind of sound. It's more like she's just relaxing her throat and letting that kind of sound really, really gently kind of creep through towards the end of the phrases. It's really gorgeous. And the direction of sound is like nothing I've ever heard. It's at the same time being completely projected very loudly, it also sounds like it's coming from the back of the mask. It's like this weird, stretchy sound. It's just unreal. Really nice. I love this song. I'm going to find this song and listen to it in my spare time. So there actually was a little bit of the natural vibrato coming through there at the end of some of these phrases. She let off the bleat a little bit and went, ah, and you could hear that. It's more of a gentle oscillation than stoppy-starty. Stoppy-starty. Very technical term. Glottal. The turn-over cry is something that she does quite a lot. That kind of sound. It goes into a territory where it's really, really high, and then you almost release the tension, and you get that little creak off the top of it. She does that quite a lot. If you go, aha, aha, like that, and then start working that up your range, aha, aha, like that, you'll eventually start to kind of grasp that sound, and you'll be able to control it all over your range. Works a lot easier higher, though, in talking from experience. This is good. This is fun. I'm enjoying it. What are the guys doing? Oh, and girl. Her stance is really interesting. That makes me feel like she's anchoring, especially like in her neck. So you've got big muscle groups in your whole body that help with singing. In your torso, you've got your pectoral muscles and some back muscles that go right down towards your pelvis. And they can kind of steady more chest voicey kind of sounds. Your neck anchors and head anchors are kind of used to stabilize higher singing, getting into your head voice kind of territory. And you can use both for both, but general rule of thumb is that's where they engage most. So for her, she stands very, very still and very rigid and just allows that sound to kind of just permeate from her. It's quite something to listen to. She's also got quite a tightness in her jaw, so she'll keep her lip shape and her jaw quite steady to get that kind of just a really steady sound. Her voice is like a laser that has this little tick 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 tick, like these little intermittent kind of interruptions. It's very, very interesting to listen to. Oh, nice. That was nuts. That was so good. I love that. Wow. That went on forever. Like, she must have massive lungs because she was projecting almost like going up in two kind of stages, and then it poured over it into this really sustained kind of sound. You've seen as well, she moved away from the mic instead of tailing off from the volume. That's a really, really good trick for people that have really powerful voices like she does, to get that smooth balance without having to really work your voice in any different kind of way. So she's just going, ah, and you'll hear as I turn away from it, the signal gets less and the volume seems to be fading out, but I'm actually singing the same thing. I'm just moving my head away. Really, really good. A lot of people do that, especially in like concerts and stuff where they hit a soaring note, they pull the mic away at the very end. Top class. Now, there's a lot of twang in her voice. We can talk about twang in two ways. There's oral twang, which is where the epiglottis, which sits above your vocal folds, kind of comes over but not completely closes over the vocal folds. That means that the air, as it's coming out, will condense and make the vocal folds thicker. It'll make a bigger sound, and it projects more. Is an example of oral twang. You need not that much effort to do it, and you get a lot of volume out of it, because it actually hits a frequency that the ear canal gets excited by. There's a really sciencey explanation on my Patreon. You can go and watch it there. There's also nasal twang. That is our velum or our soft palate by another name. And when that comes down to meet the back of the tongue, you get same kind of condensed sound, but it's actually more buttery and it's more closed off. So you can apply both, and you get this super projected condensed sound, and I think that's what she goes for quite a lot in her singing. It just is impossible to escape. You can't not hear that sound. It's just full on bang, amazing, love it. Right, were they being fish? Is that, I kind of got it from the end with it. Oh, I love it. Wow. Okay, she's next level. That is so good. It's a great song too. There are a lot of facets to her voice. So she did open up to get a bit more resonance out of the sound at the end there. You could hear a little bit of a lowering of the larynx, whereas usually it was very high to keep that sound bright. There's a lot to this girl that I have just barely cracked the surface. Wow. Fantastic. So hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and I'm away for today, but please like and hit subscribe. Sorry. Ugh.